Hey folks, Amanda here. Just a quick heads up that from time to time, the Survivor's Guide to Thriving podcast does include some adult language. So if you've got kids with you, you may just want to hold on to this episode to listen to a little later. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Survivor's Guide to Thriving podcast. Get ready for the wake-up call you needed. You'll learn the steps required to end your survival and start thriving in any behavior. This podcast will provide you with the regular insight you need to stay motivated and feel like you're living again. And now, here's your host, Mark Jewell.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Survivor's Guide to Thriving podcast. This is your host, creator and founder of the Surviving to Thriving movement, Mark Jewell. Excited to dig into something today that is a huge barrier for lots and lots of people, basically all of us. A huge trigger that causes people to quit, that will cause people to drift, that will cause people to avoid risking and sticking their neck out for something they believe in. And that thing is, my friends, your critics. Now you might be saying, I'm not famous, I'm not out there on YouTube, or I'm not in the movies or on TV or anything. I don't really have critics. You might be saying, I'm no big time, big wig leader at work in my corporate environment or anything like that. I don't have any critics. And I would ask you to just double check that and think again really quickly, because have you ever had somebody somewhere at some point in your life tell you you couldn't do something? Have you ever had somebody somewhere along the way tell you that you weren't good enough, or that it's not possible, or that there's no way in the world that your dream could come true? I don't care how simple or how big, but there's somebody somewhere along the way who, I'm guessing at some point in your life, told you that what you wanted to do probably wouldn't work because they couldn't see it. That person in your life, my friend, was a critic. Maybe there was something that your athletic team in high school wanted to accomplish, and yet there was somebody on the team who always doubted. There's always that one person on the team who always doubts whether it's really possible or not. Maybe there was a parent or grandparent somewhere along the way where when you said you wanted to be, that amazing actress, or you wanted to be that business owner, or you wanted to do it your way, but they said, no, that won't work. That's not practical. It's not going to work for you. That's not safe. Don't try that. Aren't you afraid of what other people will say? And that's really the root of it, folks. When we start to get concerned with what other people say, when we give other people power over us, they become our critic. We put them in the position of critic, and they don't go around, publishing in the newspaper what you can or cannot do, or writing a blog post or doing a podcast about it. But there are people in your life who you give power to because you desire their affirmation. You desire the recognition. You desire to have their approval over what you're doing because it gives you validation. We all do this to some extent. All of us want to have validation and attention because it helps us feel connected. It makes us feel significant. These are some of the basic human needs that all of us have. And so we go about looking for validation from other people, or to be able to associate with folks that have things that we don't have, or that appear to be living life in the way that we wish we were living it. I'll just share with you, for a good part of my life, I've been wanting to associate, and I continue to do this at some